Coming up on CityView, police pursuit. Austin police have a new tool to help catch suspects in vehicles. Boardwalk Trail, what the city is doing to connect the Lady Bird Hike and Bike Trail. And Science Fair, Austin students show off their math and science skills. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Larry Schooler. Those stories and more, but first, our top story. Bring It, Austin is the new campaign slogan for Austin's single-use carry-out bag ordinance. As of March 1st, Austin businesses, especially retailers, will be required to provide reusable bags at checkout. Options include cloth, fabric, or other woven bags, plastic bags at least 4 mil thick with handles, and paper bags with handles made of 40% recycled materials. The ordinance is part of a larger city effort to cut landfill waste and reduce litter. The city has hosted training sessions to assist the more than 17,000 businesses affected by the ordinance. Some exemptions do apply. For example, restaurants can still use single-use plastic bags for takeout items. Other exemptions include produce bags, dry cleaner bags, and trash bags. Businesses can also request to use alternative bags that meet certain reusability standards, and customers may bring their own bags from home. For more information on the ordinance, visit bringitaustin.com. And now it's time for a council update.
The Austin City Council approved an agreement with Austin Community College and the University of Texas to implement the Colony Park Challenge Grant Public Engagement Plan. Neighborhood Housing and Community Development staff and its partners in the Colony Park Neighborhood Association have drafted a public engagement plan that is designed to ensure an inclusive process, resulting in a final master plan that reflects the diversity of the community. This will be funded by a grant awarded to the city in 2011 to create the master plan for the city-owned property in the Colony Park neighborhood. Deep Eddy Pool will be free to all visitors one day during spring break. The City Council approved an ordinance to allow for one free day at the popular city pool between March 9th and March 17th. The specific date will be announced at a later time. Council also approved a program that will provide trauma counseling for emergency medical services employees. The program will help with specific traumatic work-related events and stress. This will also provide training for cadets, pre-incident preparedness, and assistance with coordination of outside resources in the event of a major disaster that exceeds the capacity of local counseling resources. Council also heard a briefing from National Instruments, a company that recently announced it will be bringing 1,000 jobs to Austin over the next decade. The City Council set a date to discuss the proposed economic incentives that the city may offer NI for bringing those jobs to the area. If you would like to weigh in on this topic, the public hearing will be March 7th at 4 p.m. in City Council chambers. In all, Council considered 78 items at its February 28th meeting. The next meeting is scheduled for March 7th. For CityView, I'm Samantha Park.
The Austin City Council wants to create a 7-member independent board of trustees to oversee Austin Energy. Council passed a resolution unanimously on February 14th to direct the city manager to work on creating the board. The proposal from the city manager is due to be presented to Council on March 21st. Shifting gears, the Austin Police Department has new devices to help track vehicles during car chases and other critical incidents, such as stolen vehicles and driving while intoxicated stops. The devices mount on the front of a patrol car, and if in a pursuit, a tag can be deployed attaching to the suspect's car. The tag includes a GPS tracker, which allows officers to follow the subject from a safe distance without needing to maintain visual contact. The devices were made possible thanks to a grant from the National Institute of Justice.
This tool will, we believe, enhance the safety of the officers, enhance the safety of the public, and, fortunately, if they're smart enough to slow down once they know the cops or think the cops aren't behind them, enhance the safety of the person that's fleeing. We really believe that it will bring added value to this community, and again, it is in keeping with our commitment to public safety.
In 2012, APD was involved in about 135 pursuits. 22 of those resulted in crashes, and one of those crashes resulted in the unfortunate death of an innocent bystander. Construction of the Boardwalk Trail at Lady Bird Lake is progressing nicely. The new trail will close the southeastern gap of the hike and bike trail. Currently, pedestrians and runners have to use the Riverside Drive sidewalk over I-35 to complete the 10.1-mile loop. Construction is visible along two areas of I-35 near Riverside Drive. The contractor hired to complete the trail is drilling and installing a long stretch of bridge piers over Lady Bird Lake, with work continuing through March. On land, stone walls are nearly complete for the main trail, and work is underway to build foundation piers for the trailhead bridges. The project is scheduled for completion in spring 2014. Meanwhile, construction continues on the Waller Creek Flood Control Tunnel, which will serve as a stormwater bypass tunnel to address problems of flooding and erosion along lower Waller Creek. The mile-long tunnel will capture and redirect floodwaters south of 12th Street and safely carry them to an outlet lagoon on the shores of Lady Bird Lake. Currently, work crews are constructing the inlet of the tunnel in Waterloo Park. The project includes a 20,000 square foot maintenance and debris handling building, a wet pond, and creek channel improvements. The Waller Creek Tunnel Outlet Facility will direct floodwaters out of the tunnel and into Lady Bird Lake. A 150-foot diameter, 50-foot deep lagoon is being constructed adjacent to the mouth of Waller Creek. The inlet project in Waterloo Park and the outlet facility near Lady Bird Lake are both scheduled to be completed by the end of 2014. Following construction of the lagoon, park amenities, including ADA-compliant trails, wetlands, a scenic overlook, and landscaping, will be installed. The City of Austin has taken on a project to restore the native forests that used to flourish beside creeks and lakes. The idea is to create grow zones in city parks, or simply put, no mowing zones to allow natural habitats to develop. Grow zones offer several benefits, including the prevention of stream bank erosion, providing a habitat and food for animals, and acting as a filter for storm runoff.
Typically what we've done with grow zones a lot of times is just get the mowers out of the riparian zone and allow the plants to grow back naturally. Because what you want are some tall trees and then some kind of what we call understory, which are lower shrubs and bushes, and then also ground cover like grasses. So we like to leave the area alone and see how it can come back on its own. And the Parks Department Urban Forestry Group has been working on a program that they call Ready, Set, Plant, where they take very little trees and they put them in the ground, usually in the winter, so you plant the plants fairly closely together. You know that some of the plants aren't going to survive, but that's okay because this is not a landscaping effort. The volunteers today are coming to us through the Austin Parks Foundation. Other planting efforts have been partnering with Tree Folks. So those two organizations, Austin Parks Foundation and Tree Folks, are always looking for volunteers to help with these efforts, and it doesn't require a lot of prior knowledge. You really just have to be willing to come out and kind of get your hands dirty and dig a couple of holes and put some plants in, and then the next time you go by the hike and bike trail and you see a little 2-foot tall tree with some little leaves coming out, you can point at it and say, you know, I'm helping improve the riparian zone of Lady Bird Lake. So it's a great way for citizens to get involved.
Visit the website on your screen to get involved with grow zones, and remember that trees are tremendous. Finally, some 10,000 students, parents, teachers, and volunteers participated in Austin Energy's Regional Science Festival at Palmer Events Center.
It's reasonable to install a rainwater harvesting system here in Austin, Texas.
7th grader Sammy Mulpuri is one of the nearly 3,000 students who competed in this year's Regional Science Fair. Students participated from 226 schools in 21 school districts in Central Texas. Every year, juniors and seniors compete for a spot at the State Science Fair, and elementary students are all awarded first, second, or third place ribbons for their participation. The Austin Energy Regional Science Fair is one of Texas's largest regional science fairs, and a great way for students to share their ideas with science professionals from the community.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's a whole new experience, and it's definitely overwhelming, but I've been learning so much from my project and other projects I've seen.
A big portion of the Austin Energy Science Fair is the fact that it gives you a lot of credibility for the amount of work. We easily put 300 to 400 man-hours of research and construction engineering into this project, and having someone actually come up and say, wow, that's really cool, makes it feel a little bit more worth it.
As part of the event, Austin Energy and other event sponsors award graduating seniors with college scholarships. That's all for this edition of CityView. I'm your host, Larry Schooler. Our next episode premieres Friday, March 8th. Thanks for watching.